was nothing left but to get getting. Wilfred Benitez on our right, Carlos Santos on our left. Benitez, yellow trunks, red stripe, yellow and red shoes. Carlos Santos, red trunks, red shoes, red socks. It's sartorial vision. And still remaining very calm. Both fighters very calm. Round one, the Super Welterweight Championship. Showboat in Las Vegas. Long range to start the fight here. Santos up on his toes. Benitez flat-footed, backing off a little bit in the center of the ring. Nobody has thrown a punch yet. We're in the first round in Las Vegas. Santos with a short flicking right hand that comes up short on the chin of Benitez. We are in round one. Fight just underway. Carrying on to the audio portion while we await the solving of the video problems that have plagued us for about a half hour now. Neither man really throwing any punches right now. Just kind of dancing at long range in the center of the ring. Santos hands high, chin tucked away. Benitez kind of a pawing kind of motion right now. Crowd getting a little bit antsy, a little bit early. Santos up on his toes still. Both men just kind of feeling each other out. Benitez obviously waiting for Santos, seeing what style he will take. Benitez charges in with the left hand, and they tie each other up in the center of the ring. Hernandez separates the two. Santos back in long range, back on his toes. Santos starts to move in with the right hand lead. Backs away now. Benitez in the corner right above us now, and just kind of keeping flat-footed and waiting for Santos to do what he is going to do. Only a couple of punches thrown in the fight. One exchange, no damage. First round, Super Welterweight Championship.
Barry, I feel that Benitez is really ready to throw all kinds of bombs. He seems to be very, very well set and ready to every punch he's going to throw seems to be going to be a real bomb.
Benitez on a flicking left hand that scored under the arm of Santos. Not a lot of damage at all, though. Still in the first round and still very much in the sparring session right now. Santos up on his toes, dancing, being very cautious right now. Benitez just kind of waiting for him to come to him.
I also feel that Santos is aware of that because he's sitting at long range and doing a lot of dancing and feeling him out.
Santos still at long range. Right hand lead, scores to the chest of Santos. Santos tries to counterpunch with the right hand, comes up a little bit short of the cheek of Benitez.
Can't get over how strong Benitez appears tonight in the ring.
We welcome the video portion of this show now. First time that we have had that. Fortunately, we got it. We really haven't missed a thing. We're in the first round, and now we have both picture and audio. So welcome to Las Vegas, the Showboat, and the Super Welterweight Championship of the world. Delighted that we could bring it to you, and of course, with profound apologies for having lost the video portion. Left hand lead by Santos. Scored pretty good that time, but he says countering with the left hand. Benitez right now seems content to counterpunch off of Santos' lead. Neither man has done any damage in the first round. Both men still looking very confident. Benitez, of course, you would expect so. Holder of 3 world championships. Santos in just his 25th fight, and the first time he has ever attempted to go any more than 8 rounds.
But I found what Benitez tonight, he's changed his style. He was always a side to side, his arms moving in a piston-like fashion, and he's changed his style tonight.
Fight gets a that round, I should say, gets a well-deserved boo from the fans. I think they stretched the fans to their limits in terms of feeling each other out. I gave the round to Santos.
Me too. I gave the round to Santos because he threw more punches. Benitez was just too cautiously waiting, and I believe that he waited much.
He just stood in the middle and let the challengers circle him. And one thing we know is that he's not following Jimmy Jacobs' hopes, if not his orders. He has not established superiority. If anything, Santos going back to the corner must feel, well, hey, I'm in with the champion, and nothing happens.
Yes, Santos is really calm. He's starting a good fight so far, but Benitez hasn't started fighting yet.
Benitez is basically a counter-puncher, and Santos is trying to make him lead, and he's not comfortable leading.
That's true.
So we start the second round here, and you heard Larry Merchant and Jose Torres agree that the first round went to the challenger, Santos. Santos continuing on his toes at long range. Remember, he has never gone more than 8 rounds, and we'll see if that does not become a factor later on, should it go that far. Flicking left-hand lead and a right-hand counterpunch again by Benitez, and that's what Benitez has been content to do so far, counterpunch off the looping lead.
I think that Santos is reaching too long with that left. He's not waiting to get in close, but as you can see, he doesn't want to get in close because Benitez looks very effective tonight.
The left hand to the kidneys of Santos, thrown by the champion Wilfred Benitez.
It appears to be to me that there's a slight fear in the part of Santos. He just doesn't want to go in.
And as Jose Torres said in our long conversation before the fight, that he had to be aggressive and had to take the fight to Benitez. And as you mentioned, Arthur, he has not yet done that.
Right. You notice the way Benitez has his right hand cocked to throw it. He's really got all the power in there already. He's just waiting for the opportunity.
Well, Benitez, of course, just showed a great right hand to Maurice Hope, and it was the literal interpretation of the one-punch knockout.
Now, when an orthodox boxer fighting a southpaw, the greatest punch is the right hand, quick with the right hand. And Benitez is going to do that. We'll see it coming soon.
Well, I think you just saw a right hand score right to the nose of Santos, thrown by Benitez. It didn't do any serious damage, but it could be a sign of things to come.
Yeah. He has it cocked and ready to throw.
Santos continues to be cautious, have a lot of caution, and just kind of circle Benitez, who just sits and waits.
Santos is doing right, keeping his left hand high, because it looks like it's going to come.
Right hand of the body, probably the hardest punch of the fight thrown by Santos, but very, very minimal damage to Benitez, who has been expressionless. Right hand lead by Benitez shoots over the head of Carlos Santos.
Right hand lead is really is not the wise thing to do in boxing, but he can get away with it because he's very, very quick.
Benitez almost talking to himself, saw him slam his gloves together there as if to say, come on now, let's get getting.
Benitez is waiting right now to get him into a corner where he can throw that right effectively.
Santos bangs away, missed most of those punches. Pace of the fight picking up just a little bit here as we come in under the 10-second mark in round number 2.
Santos is moving to his left, which is the wrong thing to do with Benitez because he's going to run right into that right hand. He should be moving the other way.
Crowd reacts in a negative fashion.
We'll try to have a listen in Benitez's corner.
No pierda la calma, voy. Con calma. No pierda puño en el aire. Okay. His father was afraid because he had to keep the calm, keep cool. He said, inside, I want you to punch to the body. Punch to the body, tranquilo. He doesn't want you to get excited. Pierda la calma y perderá, que esto es aquí. He says, it is a 15 round, you have to lose, it is just cool. He said, for him to win it, let him come to you. He has to take the title from you. Just wait for your chance.
That's also a formula for a very, very dull fight.
That is true.
That's true.
Well, Benitez has certainly heeded his corner's advice through the first 2 rounds. He has waited for Carlos Santos, and there really has been very little damage done. Benitez keeping a stoic expression on his face. He has not changed the expression on his face since the moment he walked into the ring.
You can see the picture developing, though, the way he's stalking him, just waiting.
Cobra and the mongoose here, and it is Benitez who is the mongoose.
Santos is retreating. He feels the same way.
And a right hand lead by Benitez. Does score, but no damage.
Santos claimed it was a little low, but it was right square, right in the midsection.
Santos just seems to be trying to figure out how to get inside of Benitez and has just been unable to do that. And is not about to throw caution to the wind.
Santos is very quick on his feet. He moves in, he retreats and advances very, very quickly.
But remember, he has never gone more than 8 rounds, so conditioning could tell a tale here.
Well, this is why apparently he's taking it easy.
His share of knockouts. It's not that he doesn't possess a knockout punch. He's just not a one-punch knockout man. And Benitez, as he proved in his last fight with Maurice Hope, can definitely do that. Left hand whistles by the chin of Benitez.
That's a wise thing for Santos to do at the southpaw, to throw the left hand in, but he better wait till he gets in closer to do it because you can't reach. As it extends, you're losing your power in the extension.
Well, I think we mentioned on the tail of the tape that Santos does have a 4.5-inch reach advantage, but he is not even close enough to be able to utilize that. Crowd getting a little impatient. Santos been up on his toes the whole fight. And Benitez just taking his time.
Santos doesn't have a very good jab. He paws it out. He doesn't put any body behind it at all.
Flicks the right hand jab out, takes one back, comes back with a right hand of his own. So a fair exchange there.
Benitez is very, very steady tonight. He's lost all that activity that he's displayed in most of his fights. You know, the side to side, the bob and weave, the piston like most of his hands.
Well, as we said, at age 23, he has 8 years of professional boxing experience, and there's nothing that replaces experience. Santos fighting the fight that he has fought since the opening bell, and that is to try and stay away and flick a jab out now and then, and we come to the end of the second round. The crowd, or the third round, the crowd not too happy.
Well, so far, I wish that the video hadn't returned.
Very well. I think that now Benitez seems a little worried.
We have World Championship Boxing coming up here on HBO on December 12th, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central, scheduled 15-rounder. This one for the WBC featherweight title, and a good one, Salvador Sanchez, and he is just terrific, making his 7th title defense this time against British champion Pat Cowdell. That is December 12th, right here on HBO. Larry Merchant and I will be along for that one, and we'd like you to join us too.
Jose, I agree with what you said, but I also think that Benitez is a little annoyed because this fellow is running away a lot.
Yeah, I think that he has to sense that he has to take charge. He hasn't taken charge, and no matter what his father, his trainer says, I think he's going to move out and take charge pretty soon.
So let's see if Santos does do that. He starts out the 4th round in the same fashion as he has the others. Still up on his toes, still dancing pretty well, but really unable to get inside of Wilfred Benitez. Conversely, Benitez has been unable to do any damage to Santos. Does score with the left hand right there, but again, nothing serious.
Well, I think Benitez is really studying him, and it takes a little while, and I think he'll become active very shortly.
Crowd getting a little impatient with these two, as there has been minimal action through the first 3 and change.
Santos respects Benitez very, very much, and this is the reason you're not seeing much action.
Santos trying to get inside on Benitez that time, but did so unsuccessfully. When he does get inside, he seems to lunge a little bit.
Which means he has no power when he's lunging. His feet are not firmly implanted on the canvas. It's a beautiful ring, isn't it, Barry? It's a 20-foot ring, all red, white, blue.
That would have to be to Santos' advantage, I would think, a bigger ring.
Yeah.
The fight just has not picked up since the opening bell, and you can't blame the champion for it. It's just the fight that his man is giving him right now. Benitez seems to be stalking Santos a little bit now. Right hand to the top of the head. Best punch of the fight. Santos shakes his head as if he's been hit low, and
he's claimed that twice, but I disclaim that. I don't believe that at all. Benitez is trying to get him into the ropes. If they get him into the corner of the ropes, it'll be a different fight.
Whistling left hand caught the cheek of Santos that time from Benitez. And another left hand, and now Benitez seems to be picking up the pace just a little bit. May have his hand figured out.
Yes. In many cases, I have done this before. When a fight is rather dull like this, I would step in, try to break them, push them apart, and say, come on, fellas, let's fight. And that's what this referee should do right now.
Bert Hernandez is the referee. Always an important factor in the ring. A right hand by Benitez scores, and Santos misses with a wild right counterpunch. Another right hand scores to the face of Santos, and Benitez starting to score here against the challenger, Carlos Santos. Benitez still has not changed the expression of his face.
Santos' best, left hook there and didn't just look at him.
Santos still on his toes, still dancing, but Benitez started to exert himself a little bit here. Santos really has been unable to get inside at all, and Benitez not scored successfully at all. Crowd boos, Larry.
We would bring you some replays of the highlights of these rounds, but there haven't been any highlights as yet. There was a strange exchange early in that round. Jose, maybe you can explain it to me. Suddenly Santos came in to Benitez. He was willing to stand there and exchange with him. Benitez has been trying to get him to do that, and he got out of the way as if he didn't want that all of a sudden. What are his thought process?
I think that Benitez is having a little trouble with the awkwardness of this guy's stand, southpaw. And I believe, by the way, I also want to clear up the fact that I think that Santos is having a trouble with his cup. He's not complaining about being low. I think that he's having trouble with his cup. As you can see now, he's accommodating his cup, protect his cup.
So we start the 5th round here, and Wilfred Benitez starting seemingly at least to pick up the pace a little bit in round 4. Benitez now stalking Santos a little bit more. Santos flicks the right hand, takes the right hand, and the champion to the feet.
I feel Benitez is going to open up right now.
Benitez still looks very much in control, very much in charge here. Neither man has been hurt. We're in the 5th round.
I really feel sincerely that Benitez could press this fight more and get him into the rope corner. I don't know why he's hesitating.
Well, of course, you heard his corner say earlier, 15 rounds. That may be what his thinking is, and there's a pretty good exchange right there. Benitez getting the better of it.
Yeah. I think he's decided to go now.
And a good left hand to the midsection that time brought the right hand of Santos down. Santos, of course, the jab was all to the left of the head of Wilfred Benitez. Benitez, unquestionably the harder puncher here.
Santos' best punch, as far as I can see at this moment from these rounds, is his left uppercut, left hook. That seems to be the only power punch that he has, but he has to get in closer to do it. His jab is nothing at all.
Benitez again gets inside. Benitez working the body as well as to the head when he does get inside on Carlos Santos. That was definitely low by Santos, and Ferd Hernandez tells him to keep him up. Benitez very workmanlike in the ring, just sort of knows what needs to be done and gets it done regardless of what the crowd thinks about it.
There's no question about the fact that Santos is quick on his feet. Steps back and in quickly.
Which makes him a tough target to hit. Benitez has scored with the tougher punches, but they have not come in combination and they have not caused any damage. Benitez now right in the corner. And Santos backs him out toward the center of the ring again.
Jose made a very good point there. I believe that his cup doesn't fit properly. He's being disturbed by it. Might be too tight or too loose.
And a fighter doesn't need anything else to think about in the ring other than the business at hand. End of round 5. We had a couple of other fights earlier today. Larry, you want to talk about these?
There were 2 fights today. Alex Ramos, the unbeaten young middleweight from the Bronx, defeated Norberto Sabatar in a 10-round fight. It was even more one-sided than the judges saw it. He knocked him down twice in 1 round. A good fight for Alex Ramos, who we've seen here on HBO. And in the WBA Junior Welterweight Championship, Aaron Pryor, who was definitely behind in the fight, came back in the 7th round to stop DeJuan Johnson. And both of those fights had more action than this one does.
In fact, that graphic had more action than this one.
The waiting had more action.
Carlos Santos comes out to beat the champion Wilfred Benitez. Round 6, scheduled for 15. Super Welterweight Championship. We're at the Showboat here in Las Vegas, Nevada. And now, Benitez presses it and is going downstairs to the body, generally, of Wilfred Benitez.
By the way, he was told when he started to go whack more in the body.
Benitez is a very disciplined fighter. I mean, he just looks every part the part of a champion.
I think that Santos was also told to start fighting because now he's starting to come in a little more rather than retreat.
Well, I think he respects Benitez as a puncher. Yeah. He would have to if he saw the fight with Mauricio. So it's not going to be too careless.
No question he's afraid of that right now.
Benitez, but Santos presses in. Neither man really has shown any signs of being hurt. That brings the crowd of the Showboat to its feet. But again, Benitez does not take a backward step, but it was a good clean punch. And it could give Santos the confidence. That, I believe, is a push. And they are calling it a knockdown. I didn't think it was a knockdown.
No, I don't think it was a knockdown at all. We'll see it on the replay, but I doubt it.
I do not think that was a knockdown, and yet they went on with a count, so that will be called a knockdown, but very, very iffy. Santos is not hurt. And I believe Benitez knows that. He is not really going after it.
That's the first time Benitez has been hit squarely. I think he feels a little humiliated about that.
Might have woke him up.
Yeah. If you've noticed now, Santos has changed his style. He's now an orthodox boxer. He's jabbing with the left hand.
Benitez punching pretty well now to the face of Santos. Goes down, then comes up. As soon as the right hand of Santos goes down, he comes up to the head.
Santos has gone back now to a southpaw position. He's trying to confuse Benitez.
And Benitez is not easily confused right now. Santos backing up, and Benitez flicking the left hand in his face. Benitez really kind of almost jumping at his man. And again, a combination of right hand and a left uppercut scored to Santos.
That lunging left of Santos is not effective at all. He's got to get in closer.
Benitez circling a little bit more now, going left to right a little bit more than he was early on. Trying to set up that right hand. And we come to the end of the 6th round.
We're going to take a look at some of the action in that round. For the first time, we had some action worthy of taking another look at. First, we saw that Carlos Santos landed his best punch of the fight, a straight left hand, and that seemed to wake up Benitez a little bit. I think Benitez, he is a champion. He's been a champion. I think he's concerned about how he looks in here. Let's take a look at the straight left hand thrown by Santos. There it is, a hard left hand as Benitez tried to duck under it. Now let's take a look at that knockdown and see if it was indeed a knockdown. The punch didn't look like it landed at all. It landed on his right shoulder, just grazing the chin. And as Santos was moving, it just seemed to knock him off balance. Is that the way you saw it, Jose?
Well, now on TV, I saw it that way, but in the fight, I saw
the referee seems to be confused now. There's a situation now in the ring where the referee is more concerned about putting that mic on, and it's dangling down from him, and it's a bad situation.
Meanwhile, he is back, and the fight goes on. That was a potentially bad situation, as you mentioned, Arthur. And there's a good right hand that scores and snaps the head of Santos back. patient and yet seeming very much in control at this juncture of the fight.
Benitez trying to cut the ring off now and trap him in the rope.
Another good right-hand lead by Benitez. He just hasn't been able to come back in combination. Exchange, and Benitez gets the best of that, and Santos backs off. That might have hurt Santos a little bit. Neither man is marked. We're in the 7th round. Santos grazes on the chin of the champion. Benitez now with his back to the ropes.
Santos looks very much like a European fighter. He's always backtracking, and he's just a little too respectful of Benitez.
Well, and in fact, he did fight for a couple of years in Milan.
Well, that's probably it. He's learned that Italian style, or that European style of boxing.
Still stalks him and missed with about 4 punches there. And there's a right hand to the head by the champion. Neither man has really been hurt, and that would include the alleged knockdown in the last round.
I personally feel that Benitez is more effective with his other style of boxing. Side to side, piston-like motions. He seems to become down too flat-footed now.
And in fact has been flat-footed since the beginning of the fight. He's tried to keep Santos in the middle of the ring, which is out of character for him.
Santos is a very good defensive fighter, I'll say that. But you can't win fights on the defense all the time, so you've got to be the aggressor.
Santos hasn't embarrassed himself, but it just seems he just doesn't have the horses to beat Wilfred Benitez. By the same token, Benitez has been able to get one punch in, but has not been able to come back behind that punch.
Roberto Duran certainly must be encouraged by what he sees here tonight. He doesn't see Benitez having any fire in his eyes or coming out of his nostrils or anyway. Let's listen to his corner, Jose. Okay.
They're telling him to move more, but without a doubt, it is the style of Santos which is making this fight look so cold and so unexciting.
You know, Larry, I have to harken back to the Larry Bonds Sugar Ray Leonard fight that we saw in the same kind of incident where Leonard didn't look like Sugar Ray Leonard, but just because of his opponent's style.
Well, right now Santos is fighting like what they used to call a stink-out artist. He's not in there to win, he's in there to live.
Well, he has done that. 1 out of 2, that ain't bad.
I personally feel that Benitez can do it at any time, and if he wants, when he decides that he wants to do it, he can do it.
Also,
the only thing that does jump out at me is the fact that Benitez has not been able to come back behind his punches. He hasn't been able to punch in combination. Santos tries to get Benitez in the corner, but when he does, he backs him back out.
I think his corner ought to find out what's disturbing him with that supporter that he's wearing, because it seems to annoy him all the time. Now he wants Benitez to come to him. He won't engage him. Now the referee has admonished Santos to go in and fight.
Hernandez said to him, fight, fight. And that's exactly what Arthur McCanny was saying before. You've got to say at some point, get it on. Benitez, you might have seen, there's a straight right hand to the face of Santos by the champion. And again, Benitez scoring with one punch, but then being unable to come back behind it. And Santos is wild with a right hand over the head of the champion.
There's no one who can bob and weave better than Benitez.
Santos got one right hand.
He's not a target of it.
Benitez with his back to the ropes, and Santos did wing him, and that was up on the back of the challenger thrown by Wilfred Benitez.
What Benitez just did then, I feel that he can do at will. But he just looks like he's getting a workout.
And Benitez back against the ropes again. Santos bangs away as best he can, and finally opens him up with a left and a right hand back behind that. And now Santos seems to have caught fire. Another right hand scores on the champion, but Benitez just says, come on, give me your best shot, pal. And the best has not been enough so far for the challenger, Carlos Santos of Puerto Rico.
Benitez has just changed to southpaw now. I found that with Benitez, if he gets slightly hurt, he changes to southpaw because he feels his power is his left hand.
Benitez still with his back to the ropes. That's something Jose Torres talked about earlier. But he likes to fight like that, and it takes a lot of fight out of his opponent. His version of the rope-a-dope.
Benitez is very happy that he's pushing him in the corner because Benitez wants to engage him. And he hasn't been able to do it all night. This is why he's sticking to that corner.
Santos still being cautious, not wanting to take any chances, having a respect for the champion. Benitez stays in the corner end of round 8. And Benitez looks a little disgusted.
Well, and I think he should be. One of the things we're definitely seeing here is how uncomfortable Benitez is when he is forced to lead. He only wants a counterpunch. He goes against the ropes in the hopes of encouraging his opponent to come to him. But as a champion, he ought to be able to have some of the versatility to go to his opponent. He is absolutely unwilling to press the attack for more than one punch.
I think he's unwilling because he feels very uncomfortable. Every time he makes a move, Santos moves back, and in an awkward situation because Santos, fighting southpaw, he's moving to the right. And it's very uncomfortable for Benitez to follow through. They are a little concerned in the corner of Benitez, telling him to rest.
And oddly enough, after what I've said, Santos had the best of that exchange in the corner.
Of course he did. But not by much.
So we go to the 9th round here, and once again, it is not particularly a crowd pleaser, but the challenger is still there. Again, Santos content to stay at long range and get up on his bicycle. Benitez tries to press it with the left hand, but Santos bounces off the ropes. He is very quick. Jumps into the left hand, jumps out, takes a punch from Benitez.
I feel Benitez is going to get started now, though. He's going to have to.
He's been
Not that he's losing the fight, I don't mean it that way, but he'll be losing fans.
He's been encouraged by his corner to press the fight, to press it more, to put more pressure on Santos. They're screaming at him in Spanish.
Benitez does try to do that. Now he gets Santos in the ropes, but Santos jumps right out of there again.
He's definitely a European fighter. There's no question about that.
Back in the corner again. Santos gets the better of that exchange. But again, no damage. Santos right back at him again.
And when I say that, Barry, about European fighters, I don't mean it disparagingly. They're defensive fighters. They're good fighters, but they're on the defense a lot.
Pretty tough to win a fight, obviously, even more so as a challenger. Again, Santos ducks in with one punch and gets out.
Well, that's his best punch. That left hook uppercut is his very best punch. He doesn't throw a jab right at all. He doesn't throw a left cross. It's a hook combination.
Neither man has really been hurt here, even though there was a knockdown by the champion on the challenger, but look to all of us, more of a push than a knockdown. Does seem to at least come out even in those exchanges in the corner.
I've never seen Benitez fight this way with such a wide stance. His stance, he has a very, very wide stance, and he's got to have his opponent come in for that style to be effective.
Again, Benitez stands in the corner, to the ring post. Takes a left hand from Santos, stays right in there once again. Santos tries to measure it, flicks the jab, misses with 2, misses with a left hand. And out of all those punches, he didn't score with 1. And he scores with a combination there. A right hand and a left hand right back. And now Benitez gets out of there. Santos chases him. Benitez turns Santos around, and he pops away. A right hand to the head by the champion at the bell.
Well, we have to say this much for Santos. He's never gone.
Tonight's presentations of hopscotch on the East Coast and Central regions and rough cut on the West Coast and Mountain regions will begin immediately following the conclusion of tonight's championship boxing coverage. Both of those movies, of course, will be seen in their entirety.
As I was saying when I was so nicely interrupted, that was the 9th round, and it was Santos showed that the distance certainly hasn't bothered him at all, and there's no reason it should have, since both of them have crammed about a round and a half of action into the 9 rounds so far.
How have you roughly scored the fight so far, Larry? How do you see it?
I have Benitez ahead about 5 rounds to 4.
Exactly the same,
So it's still a contest. 10th round. Santos maybe getting his confidence a little bit here.
He got hit with a good shot at the end of the round.
Last punch of the fight, that right hand by Benitez, was a good punch. Well, Santos really fighting a smart fight. As we mentioned, it's not a crowd-pleasing fight. It's not the kind of fight that's going to win you a lot of fans. But purely from an aesthetic sense, it's a smart fight.
Seems strange that Santos, the only time he will engage Benitez is when Benitez stands in the corner and he does come in. So it would be wise of Benitez to do that, stay in the ropes, in the corner, and lead the attack.
Flicking left hand, scoring that time by Santos. So Santos getting a little off balance there. It's one of the few times in the fight he has been. Gets out of there once again. Santos is very quick and has not been hurt, maybe for that very reason.
I really can't give much credit to a fighter though who fights defensively and is on the run all the time. He has to be at least aggressive at some time during the round. Well, that was a good thing. He was on the defense but threw a good jab and scored, while the other fellow was aggressive.
Benitez, unquestionably the harder puncher, but Santos really is scoring more effectively than Benitez. Neither man is really marked. We're in the 10th round. Santos looks like a more confident fighter right now.
He's very quick, no question about it. That was a good jab. He's got a long reach, an 84-inch reach.
Came with a left hand to the stomach also, behind that jab. And Benitez is starting to think that he's in a fight here. Santos using the jab more effectively in this round than he has, and is punching to the body with some effectiveness. That was a left hand, catching the champion on the side of the head. And again, Benitez goes into the corner. That's where Santos has done the most damage.
Benitez's right eye is a little blurred because he was hit pretty good then.
Crowd is starting to come alive, and I can't help but wonder if the crowd might be sensing upset here.
Well, I think Santos is becoming alive.
His confidence has definitely grown. He's using his jab better. He's going to the stomach pretty well. Scored with the left hand to the head against the champion. And the champion a little red around the nose right now.
Well, after the 10th round, I have this fight scored dead even. And there is a worried look along with a spot of red under the nose of Benitez, and he is getting aggravated.
This round was Santos' best round. I mean, he hit Benitez with clean shots. I still don't think that Benitez is that worried. I
don't think he's that worried.
Well, he may find himself at about the 16th round here soon, and he won't be worried, but he may be without a title if he doesn't wake up.
Santos corner says, fight exactly the way you're fighting. You're fighting a perfect fight. Do not change. Keep that same style. Keep boxing exactly the same way. That's the instruction that Santos is getting. And he's much more confident now. The other corner, of course, they're more worried.
Santos, the first one off his stool and into the center of the ring, and we're in round 11. And the champion seems to be getting a little bit more aggressive here, and with that, perhaps, a little bit more concerned. Toward the end of that round, there was a little bit of blood showing from the nose of Wilfred Benitez.
I like the way Santos was hit then with 2 rights and came up smiling.
Benitez trying to press the fight a little bit more now, but Santos still staying with him pretty well, doing what he has to do. And that is when you take a punch, get out of it. And the crowd has really come alive here.
The crowd is definitely in favor of Santos. They're all screaming Santos.
And that has changed greatly since the opening introductions, as you heard. A left hand snapped the head of Benitez, back by Santos. Every time they exchange, Santos is coming away the better. Santos still on his toes, still being somewhat cautious, but I would prefer to think of that as careful rather than cautious.
Benitez keeps blinking his eyes as though, you know, the salt or the perspiration of the perspiration is entering his eyes, plus a couple of punches.
Benitez is trying to press the fight a little bit more, but is being more careless than he was in the early rounds also. And Santos may now be thinking that Benitez can't hurt him.
Santos has gained a lot of confidence in this last 2 rounds.
And there's a right hand that hurts Santos, and a left hand also. Santos smiles and says no, but the legs buckled a little bit with that right hand by Benitez. And a right hand misses that time, and so does a left by Benitez. First time either man has been hurt.
Benitez is putting everything now into both the left and right.
Santos' legs do seem to be back under him now, but they did wobble for just a moment. And a left hand by Santos downstairs on the champion Wilfred Benitez. And Santos' corner is saying, get the punches up. A left hand flicks off the nose that time of the challenger, thrown by Wilfred Benitez.
Santos got a good left in there.
Santos takes a break, and once again the knees buckled, and another right to the head, and Santos is in trouble. Tries to get out of there, tries to get back in the middle of the ring. Now the legs don't have any snap in them.
That's the first indication of a fighter when the legs go. You see the way he turned to the corner?
Still on rubber legs.
Well, one of the...
We'll take a look at some of those flurries, and Santos definitely went back to his corner with rubber legs.
I think
that first flurry, Santos went away smiling, but the second flurry put a different look on his face altogether.
I think it's going to be very hard for Santos to recover, because I think that now Wilfred is sure.
There it is, a right that is just high on the head, and a right that came straight through. This is the first time that Santos has permitted himself to be in the corner. This is the 11th round. Perhaps he was a little bit tired, or perhaps he got a little cocky himself after his success of the previous few rounds.
Now the legs will tell the story. And they do not seem to have quite the snap that they did have. Benitez goes right after him as if to say enough of this, and a right hand, and both men throwing nothing but punches here. Neither man doing a lot of damage right now. After all that, there was very little damage done. Very little damage done in that exchange, although it was a great exchange, at least for the purpose of
amazing.
I believe being hurt, Santos is being hurt, is give him a little life.
He didn't get hit solid in this license change. That's what happened. You should not take those chances with Benitez.
Santos, for the most part now, is flat-footed also. He gets up on his toes on occasion, but he is more of a flat-footed fighter now than he has been throughout the fight. And Benitez stalks him, and the crowd picks up the rhythm of Benitez stalking the challenger Santos. Santos' legs are rubbery even now, and he hasn't been hit. The starch is gone.
He's not retreating as much as he did, though. He wants to fight. He wants to engage.
They feel of it as a last gasp here. Benitez still the patient fighter now. Benitez seems to be back in control after having lost it through the 10th and part of the 11th round.
Benitez is looking for one punch now.
Santos has lost a lot of the steam. That's not so much in his hands, but certainly in his leg.
It looks like to me, since the cobwebs are now out of Santos' head, he seems he's going back to his other style.
Takes a right hand right on the button once again from the champion Benitez. That one did not seem to sting as much as the ones at the end of the last round. Santos, a looping left hand, misses.
That's a dangerous thing to do, because if Benitez comes across with his powerful right, that'll be the end.
Well, remember, this is already 4 rounds further than Santos has ever fought. They've never gone more than 8. And here he is now, coming down to the end of round 12. Mark. The redness around the nose of Benitez has disappeared.
That Santos is really tricky, though. He moves to the left and right.
Quick left hand slowed him up a little bit right there. And we come to the end of round 12. I want to remind you once again that tonight's presentations of hopscotch on the East Coast and Central regions and rough cut out on the West Coast and in the mountain regions will, of course, begin following the conclusion of this Super Welterweight Championship fight from here in Las Vegas. Both of those movies will be seen in their entirety.
Benitez was peering across the ring, trying to see just what kind of trouble his opponent is in. We have to say this to Santos, for a fellow who has never fought a ranked fighter in his life, he's done pretty well against one of the best athletes in boxing. Here's the boxing, a flurry early in the round.
I agree 100%.
Nothing of any consequence happening there, but it was almost as if Santos wanted to wake himself up from the previous round's troubles.
We're in round 13 now, and the challenger, having done well to go this far, and really is fought about as good a fight, I would think, as he could fight. And it's not all lost yet.
Santos seems to me that he's a little confused about whether he wants to remain a southpaw or orthodox. He seems to be dead center.
Took a pretty good right hand there and now fights his way off the ropes. But he's got to get out. There's a left hand right to the button, and once more the legs of Santos went, and yet another left hand. But Santos gets out, takes a right hand to the top of the head by the champion.
Santos takes a pretty good punch. That was a good right hand, Benitez threw right to the head.
And set up with a couple of pretty good lefts when he had him against the ropes. Santos does not seem hurt.
I think that Benitez is still trying to knock this guy out with one punch.
That's right.
He might be able to do it.
Well, he certainly did it against Maurice Hope, just a crashing right hand. That came in the 12th round, and now he's in 13 against Carlos Santos. Once more, gets him on the ropes, bangs away to the body. Not much damage there.
It seemed to me that Benitez ought to just change his style and become a little more aggressive. He seems to be holding back.
Waits for Santos to get on the ropes. Banging away to the body now of Santos. Santos comes off the ropes. There's his right hand over the top of the head of Santos, who just ducked under that.
Benitez can't get set with that right because the guy's too elusive.
And awkwardly so. It's very awkward. He moves too much to his left.
Santos again. Now back flat-footed. Benitez waiting to try to get him on the ropes. That's where he's done the most damage. Santos flicks out a right-hand jab, and that gets Benitez off him for a moment. The crowd starts to boo a little bit here again. Santos misses a right hand, just coming up a little bit short to the cheek of the champion.
Santos is moving in the wrong direction. He should be going the other way with a right-hander. He's going to go right into it.
Now it's Benitez on the ropes. He will likely try to turn Santos around if Santos comes after him, but he doesn't. End of round 13.
In that round, it seemed to me, Jose, that Benitez is virtually agreed that this is going to be a 15-round fight. He just doesn't want to extend himself. He had a few opportunities to get on top of Santos, and he backed off.
Let me see. I think also that he's still trying Santos awkward. Okay. His father says that he doesn't want Wilfred to move out. He wants him to press in and keep himself inside, punching to the body, not to step out, not to box.
Which is what we were just saying, that every time he gets on top of him, he backs off.
Exactly.
So we come to round 14 now here in Las Vegas.
Benitez must feel that Santos can punch also, because maybe this is the reason why he's not coming in fearlessly like he should be.
Well, Santos has snapped his head back on a couple of occasions, but that has not happened since the 10th round. Santos is running out of rounds, running out of time. There's a right hand that didn't have anything in it. It really caught Benitez, but it just didn't have any steam behind it.
Benitez now looking to sneak a punch. That's what he's doing. Watch it. He's trying to sneak a punch.
There was another right hand that caught Benitez, but it just did not have the power that it might have had earlier.
Benitez giving bait to Santos to sneak a punch.
Benitez just can't get that right in closer because the guy moves very well.
Santos again gets off the ropes. And it is on the ropes that Benitez has been able to do the most damage.
He's confused, Benitez. You can see in his eyes that he's still confused. He's looking to knock him out with one punch because he's confused.
Santos really pressing the action a little bit in this round, but he just, even though he scored with punches, they do not seem to have what they had on them earlier in the fight. Again, Santos gets the better of the exchange, but with little effect.
Benitez seems to want to just end him with one punch, and he really can't do that. He has to have a series of punches. Benitez's mouthpiece just dropped, and Fernandez just picked it up.
Almost spit it out, though, really. It wasn't hit out.
It's a sign of getting a little uncomfortable, a little tired.
And again, Santos scored right to the head, but once again, the punches just didn't seem to have the zip anymore.
This is Carlos Santos. He's now gone almost twice as far as he's ever fought before in his life. And this is always an interesting point, Jose, in a fight. He has to know that he's behind. Will he come out and stand flat-footed and punch with Benitez, or will he be satisfied to go 15 rounds?
There's Benitez now on the screen, and I think he's ready now.
If this fight were being held in Puerto Rico, how would the fans react?
They would get into the ring and make them fight, I think.
So our consensus is that he's got to punch, right?
Yes.
So Carlos Santos with 3 more minutes to try to do something about getting the Super Welterweight Championship from the shoulders of Wilfred Benitez. A whistling right hand misses. Santos stays in there and punches. Takes another right hand. He doesn't have much left.
Seems when Santos is hurt, he comes in.
Santos does not have much in the legs any longer here. And I would have to think at this juncture that Benitez might be able to put him away with 1 punch.
I don't think that Benitez is feeling too fresh himself. I think he's feeling his tiredness. He's also tired.
Santos took a pretty good shot from Benitez to start this round. And the crowd booing, I think, not so much at Santos, but at Benitez for not coming after him and not putting him away.
He has a very bothersome style, Santos. He'd annoy any fighter.
And he does have an ability to make you look bad, and he has done that with Wilfred Benitez on occasion here tonight.
Yeah, but it makes a very boring fight because he's not aggressive at all. He just seems to be happy to stay and go the distance.
Benitez starts to come after him, and there's a right hand right on the top of the head of the challenger, Carlos Santos, once again. Santos does not have a lot of zip, but does score with the left hand to the side of the head of the champion.
Benitez is quite surprised that he stays there toe-to-toe with him, and he really comes back well. Too bad he didn't do that earlier.
Case of too little too late, as Santos again scores on the champion.
Now Santos wants to score the 1-punch knockout.
Which he would almost have to do. There's a little swelling on the cheek of Wilfred Benitez, but nothing to worry about at this juncture of the fight.
I can't understand why Benitez is not going in there and finishing fast and furiously.
Inside the 30-second mark, as you see, 20 seconds remaining in the fight. Benitez pounding on Santos and scores with the left hand of Santos off the ropes. Bounces back, tries to do what he can.
Benitez is giving everything he has, mustering up all the strength he can, and just can't seem to do it.
And
it's
so,
too late now.
The challenger, Carlos Santos, does go the 15 rounds, and the crowd boos it. As I mentioned, I believe really that they're booing Benitez's inability to put his man away rather than the effort that the challenger put up. It was a game effort, I think, Arthur, on the part of Carlos Santos.
Yes, but it seemed like during the whole fight he just was satisfied to stay in there with the champ, and if he had done more what he did in the latter rounds, he would have been better off. It would have been a more interesting fight for all of us and for the fans, and he might have even done better because he seems like he takes a pretty good shot.
So you would have to think that the verdict will go to Wilfred Benitez, but what does that mean, would you say, for somebody like Carlos Santos now? He showed fairly well.
Well, he'll still be ranked, there's no question about that. I mean, he's a good fighter.
the vote.
How did you see it? You were scoring the fight here along the line.
I had a 9-6. I would say that Benitez got the better of it. When you summarize the fight in total, Benitez really won the fight handily.
And yet there was a time that you could start to see the worm turn just a little bit. When Santos did get a couple of good punches into the 10th round, his confidence did soar.
Yes, true, but Barry, you can't win fights retreating. You can't win fights being on the defense. You've got to make a fight. You've got to be the aggressor sometime. When you're getting tired and you want to rest, then you're a defensive fighter.
And we have a little altercation going on in the ring between a couple of the handlers of these two men. Had nothing to do with the two fighters, but two of the handlers got into it.
It seems like it's Benitez's father and one of the handlers in the other camp, in Santos' camp.
Gregorio Benitez, of course, who used to be the manager and is still the trainer of the champion Wilfred Benitez, and now cooler heads start to prevail, and they all back off, and the only people not involved were the two fighters who probably couldn't have done anything about knocking out even Gregorio Benitez at this juncture.
There's Jim Jacobs wearing that stylish cap. He is the manager of Benitez.
So we're awaiting the official decision, although most of the people here do not feel that the decision is in any great doubt. It's only a question of by how much. Wilfred Benitez looking only at times the part of the awesome champion that he looked to be when he defeated Maurice Hope for the junior welterweight title earlier this year, and he had that awesome right hand which put Hope down, although Hope had extended himself pretty well early in that fight. And tonight he got an untested challenger in Carlos Santos. Really, he was an unknown quantity. We didn't know what he had coming into the fight.
Benitez has to be a little disappointed himself tonight, because he's a greater fighter than he showed tonight. He changed his style entirely, and I don't understand why. I said this before. I think he was a more effective fighter when he went side to side, piston-like motions, keep on the move. This settling down into a wide stance seemed to destroy his power. If he had shortened up his stance, as the other fellow got in close, but he never did get in close, he could have had more power.
Let's look ahead for just a moment, Arthur, and look ahead to Wilfred Benitez fighting Roberto Duran, which will be seen, incidentally, right here on HBO January 30th. What is he going to have to do? I'll let you answer that as soon as we finish. Well, let's get the official decision.
It is unanimous, and I will read the point totals. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Smith judging at ringside. He's at 147-138. Dave Moretti judging at ringside, 145-139. Hal Miller sees at 145-140. A unanimous decision in favor of the winner, and still the super welterweight WBC champion of the world, Wilfred Benitez.
Well, certainly not a surprising decision, and that is just about the margin that you had said, Arthur,
Yes,
and just about the way you saw the
just
fight.
about the way I said. It seemed to me at the end of the fight here, Benitez is doing more exercise after the fight than he was doing during the fight, jumping around and almost doing handstands.
It was a lot quicker, I'll say that. Larry Merchant is in the ring, and we'll be talking with Wilfred Benitez, the champion, in just a moment.
No one was cut. They're both very clean looking.
Both men very clean looking, and Benitez now, of course, is going to have to get ready for Duran in something of a hurry. And I believe right now Larry Merchant is ready with Wilfred Benitez, so let's go up to the ring and Larry Merchant.
Benitez, Wilfred, why was he so difficult for you to fight?
Listen, he's Puerto Rican, and a Puerto Rican to fight has to Puerto Rican to fight with the champion. He's better than you, because all the Puerto Rican fighters are very good. You saw him. He is all power too, and he fight me right hand, left hand. I know how good it is. It's him. He is. And you saw the fight. I made my best work for this fight. I was training only. I trained for this fight when I came here. When the fight supposed to become on September the 5th, I didn't train no much because he had injuries in his finger, and I get mad, you know, and that's why I fought like this fight. But I don't care. My hands was very nice, strong, but I was keeping it. I was needing the 15 round.
Are you unhappy with the way you fought tonight?
Yes, I'm happy. I don't care if the people don't like it, but next time, I hope so, you know, that the next time I will make it better than the fans, boxing fans.
What are your thoughts now about fighting Duran in January? What are you thinking about that fight now?
Let me complete the sentence. Next time I will make it better. So against Roberto Duran, I will continue training, and I know that I can beat him easy. Just I need to train. I am in condition now. I can fight Duran now.
Thank you very much, Wilfred. Now back to ringside.
And
okay,
thank you, Wilfred Benitez. He is the winner. I am, of course, here, Barry Tompkins, along with Arthur Mercanti. And let me go back to the question I asked you a little bit earlier. He says he was pleased with his performance tonight. He's not going to have any trouble with Roberto Duran, but you've been in there for a long time. How do you see it, Arthur?
Well, I also heard him say that he wasn't in very good shape for this fight, but I'll tell you one thing, Duran will be a far, far better fight than this fight. The trouble here tonight was that Santos was on the bicycle most of the night, entirely too defensive, and he couldn't make the fight. Benitez has wanted to fight on the inside. He wanted to gauge him. But you will see a different fight with Duran, because Duran will stay there toe-to-toe with him. It'll be a great spectator fight.
So it wasn't so much the fact that Wilfred Benitez won this fight from Carlos Santos. It might perhaps have been the fact that Carlos Santos lost this fight to Wilfred Benitez. Be sure to tune in next month for another exciting night of World Championship Boxing right here on HBO. WBC featherweight champion Salvador Sanchez defends his crown against British featherweight champion Pat Cowdle. That's live Saturday, December 12th, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, and 7 o'clock Pacific time. The executive producer of HBO Sports is Michael Hughes. Tonight's telecast was